Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Papa Plays YouTube channel. Today is Wednesday. It's March 12th, and I'm back breaking down some NCAA basketball picks and props for the conference tournaments. We're on to the Big 12. We're on to the SEC. We're on to the ACC. We got these bigger conferences going up against each other. We've got a packed week of basketball, and I'm going to be talking about 4 or 5 games tonight with a couple player props. Before we do that, Tuesday night plays. California, double overtime. Previous game, triple overtime. Also, with the most respect possible, religious people who are religious, don't get mad at me if you are a believer. Ramadan. I was unaware that I thought you just couldn't eat from sunrise to sunset. Apparently, you can't drink water either. And not only in the first game, Cincinnati against I just talked about Cincinnati because I took them on the member side. Cincinnati against Oklahoma State. They had 2 players for Oklahoma State that didn't drink water the entire game. And then again for California, our big man didn't drink water, and he's coming off a triple overtime game. That was during the day as well. He couldn't drink water in the basketball game until the third overtime against, I believe it was Notre Dame, like a couple games ago. This was a double overtime game. He didn't have a sip of water the entire game, and he dominated in second overtime. He scored the first 4 points and got 2 offensive rebounds. So I don't know how they do that. I feel like drinking water is like the most important thing during the game. You see these stats like LeBron James and all these people, these huge athletes, they lose like 15 pounds of water during the game. I just don't understand how that's even possible. But respect to you guys, or respect to those players, I guess, for not only acknowledging their faith but keeping their faith while they play basketball. Not drinking water. That's an amazing accomplishment. But anyway, I didn't know that. It might be something to look at for the future games. But California gets it done in double overtime. Had them -3.5. You might have got them at -2.5, but I got them -3.5. They win by almost double digits. Virginia Tech in the second half couldn't make a shot, and California started that second half up 8-0. So that was a really big thing for us. Kansas State, I can't believe they didn't cover. Game just ended. I just turned it off as I was recording. -5.5. They were up by double digits basically the entire game, besides like 10-minute to 8-minute mark of the first half. They were up by double digits, and then the 4-minute mark came in the second half, and they just kept leaving them. They just kept letting them stick around, and Arizona State just kept making shots and making free throws. And with 10 seconds left in the game, Kansas State up by 5 points, and Arizona State missed from 3, and there's no foul. With 10 seconds left, down by 5, with your season on the line from Arizona State, and they do not foul the remainder 10 seconds. That is crazy to me. Didn't help that Jones missed the front end of a one-on-one before that. So just a brutally bad beat there with Kansas State. And then David Guson, he only played like 8 minutes. I mean, it looked like he was trying to foul every time he was on the floor. Picked up 2 fouls in about 7 seconds, and then got his third foul. He was left in there. Picked up a third foul in the first half, and then he came back in for like 45 seconds and then picked up a blocking foul, which he literally tried to pick that foul up. I don't know what he was doing, but yeah, just a horror. Sometimes even if you pick player props and you think it's going to be a great pick, player goes out there and fouls 4 times in 5 minutes. So that one really sucked. So 1-2 day on the NCAA pick side, which really felt like it could have been a 2-1 day at the minimum, and a 3-0 day if Guson doesn't foul all the time. But Kansas State gets it done. They advance. 1-2 day. We're moving on. Let's go talk about the SEC. South Carolina going up against Arkansas. I'm taking the Razorbacks here. They're going to be -3.5. South Carolina, they were 10-4. I don't think a lot of people know that. They were 10-3 actually before January. They were 10-3. They got into the conference play, and they went 2-16 in conference play. And one of the wins was against the Razorbacks. They beat them 72-53. I want to point out in that game for Arkansas, it was their worst performance of the season on the road. They went 15 of 52 from the field. They shot 28.8%, and they shot 3 of 22 from deep, which is 13% from the field. They nearly out-rebounded South Carolina, but it didn't matter because they just couldn't make a shot. I think that will be different in this game. This is a completely different Arkansas team. This is a very, very good Arkansas team down the stretch. Wins over 15 Missouri, Texas on the road, Vanderbilt 90-77 at Vanderbilt, which is a really good win because Vanderbilt's been very good on their home floor, and then finished up the year against a top 25 team, a game they had to win in order to try to make the March Madness tournament. Wins that game 93-92 in a thriller late in the second half. So they have been on a roll for the last 5 games. South Carolina, you have to take care of one player, Murray Boyles. Take care of him, Arkansas. You're going to find yourself in the winning column. I'm going to take them here -3.5 as the first play of the day. Second play, just talked about Texas and Vanderbilt. Texas might have played the worst game I've ever seen in my entire life in their last game of the season. They had to win that one. It was first 4 in and first 4 out between Texas and Oklahoma. Winner of that game probably has March Madness in a couple weeks, but according to Joe Lunardi, not according to me. According to Joe Lunardi, winner of that game most likely makes the tournament. Texas now has to make a run in the SEC tournament. They've probably got to win 2 games to even be looked at for a shot at the March Madness tournament. That game against Oklahoma was pitiful. Pope was really good for Texas, 20-plus points. Trey Johnson went 0 of 14 from the field. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Arthur Kaluma was a mistake waiting to happen in the second half. He made a lot of tough layups, but he had a lot of turnovers at the same time. This Texas team, they're not playing well. Vanderbilt coming into this game with 2 straight losses, Arkansas and Georgia, but I trust Vanderbilt more than basically every single team in the SEC besides Auburn, Tennessee, and I think Florida. Oh, Alabama. 4 teams. I trust 4 more teams in the SEC than Vanderbilt. I trust this Vanderbilt team. Every time I take them, they get us a win. Every time I go against them, they get us a win. This is a very good Vanderbilt team. They've got a lot of scoring. The defense is iffy, but they've got a lot of scoring. I think they just simply outscore Texas in this game. Going to take them on the money line. I think they are the better team, and I think Texas makes way too many mistakes. Going to take Vanderbilt on the money line as the play there. Let's go talk about the player props. We have a couple more games to talk about. So this is going to be Trey Johnson of Texas over the total points going up against Vanderbilt. The defense for Vanderbilt hasn't been great. 230th plus on the season. They have been allowing a lot of points, but at the same time, Vanderbilt puts up a lot of points. So that's why I'm taking them in that game. Money line. Trey Johnson is a freshman. He is considered the number 3 pick in the NBA draft right now. He might even go higher with the way Dylan Harper and Ace Baldwin played. Ace Baldwin, that is for Penn State. That is not the guy I want for Rutgers. Ace Bailey for Rutgers. So those 2 guys kind of struggle down the stretch. Trey Johnson might be going up in the leaderboards in the mock draft for the NBA. This is a game that we have to see it. 0 of 14 from the field in a do-or-die game going up against Oklahoma on your home floor, where he's been scoring nearly 23 points per game at home this season. 0 of 14 from the field. He scored 7 points, got all those points from the line. 0 of 4 from deep. I got to see it. Trey Johnson's been on my bench. He was early in the season. I brought him back. He scored 25 points and 39 points in that game against Arkansas. But coming off an 0-14 game, I think he's just going to be even more aggressive in this one. I think he's going to want it a little bit more than everybody else. I still think Vanderbilt wins, but Trey Johnson puts on a performance. Give me the over 15.5, 16.5 points as the first player prop of the day. Second player prop, Micah Peavy, transfer out of TCU to my Georgetown Hoyas, who have been my team since the beginning of the season. I said, look out for Georgetown. They might make a move. They might be good. Turns out I was wrong, but at least I'm owning up to being wrong. Like, I know Georgetown was not good this season. They have all the talent in the world. Sorber went down with that broken foot. Actually, I don't know if he broke it. I think he just got surgery on it. That was a big blow for them, the big man down low. He was one of the better players on that team. But Micah Peavy's been stepping up in a big way. He's on the first team for the conference, and he's coming off a 29-point game going up against DePaul, which they lost. This is going to be another game going up against DePaul, and DePaul has actually beat Georgetown twice. One of the worst teams in the Big East has beat Georgetown twice this season, 83-77 the second one, and 73-68 in the second one. Hard to beat a team 3 times for the Georgetown Hoyas, which is why I'm going to take them as one of the plays for today. But I'm going to go with Micah Peavy. He hardly leaves the floor. He's played 40-plus minutes in 6 of the last 9 games that he's been in, and the other games that he didn't play, he played 38, 38, and 37. So he's going to be on the floor basically the entire game. He's taking double-digit shots in 20 consecutive games, whatever it is. He's scoring double-digit points in 10 consecutive games. He is a certified baller for Georgetown right now, and they need it desperately with Sorber being out. This is going to be won by the guards of Georgetown, Malik Mack and Micah Peavy. I'm going to take him over the total points here as the final player prop of the day. Let's go to some game picks for tomorrow. We are going to take Georgetown. I just think it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Georgetown is the better team on paper as well, and they're the better team overall. I don't know how they're losing these games to DePaul. They just are. DePaul is not a good team. I think Georgetown is way better than them. I'll take them money line. This is a game you got to take Georgetown. -3.5 is going to be the play there. And then Oklahoma going up against Georgia. Oklahoma's not good. You take away Fears, you take away Jordan down low. This is not a good Oklahoma team. Fears in the game against Texas only had like 6 points, but Texas still couldn't beat them. This is not a good Oklahoma team. They've been hitting their stride lately in the last 3 or 4 games, but I still think Georgia is a very underrated team in the SEC. I'll take them here money line to get the job done going up against Oklahoma as the final play of the day. So 4 game picks, 2 player props. Arkansas minus 3.5, Vanderbilt money line, Georgia money line, and Georgetown minus 3.5. I love them all. I love all those picks. It's either going to be a really, really good day for the bank account or a really, really bad day for the bank account. Trey Johnson over the total points going up against Vandy. Vandy still wins the game. Then Micah Peavy over his total points going up against DePaul. Need him big in that game against DePaul. Guys, going to do it for the NCAA basketball picks and props for Wednesday, March 12th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please drop a like this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.